Hello, I'm Sip Mendez and welcome to Sip's Wood Chips. For today's project I wanted to do a small turning. I wanted to make a vase-like vessel. And I'm going to make it from a piece of maple that I've had laying in my garage here for a long time now. This must be about 6 or 8 years old. And I've already cut off a piece, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it down into a cylinder and get ready for the project. Remember, before you start any project, to read, understand, and follow all the instructions that come with your power tools and equipment. Wood turning is fun, but it's also important to work safely. So here's the drawing that I did of my vessel, and I just have a profile of it. My cylinder is about 5 inches in diameter. 5 inches would be 125 millimeters. And it's about 7 inches tall. So that's going to be about 175 millimeters tall. So here's the my basic drawing, and from here the bottom of the vessel will be about 4 inches, and the remainder will be the top. And normally I do the top first, but on this one I'm going to go ahead and do the base first. And I'll measure off 4 inches, which is right here, 4 inches. And 4 inches is about 10 centimeters. And so I'm going to part off the top, and then we'll work on the base. Okay, so I'm going to use a 1/8 parting tool. Maybe I won't waste as much wood. I don't usually do it this way, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start shaping it before I part it the rest of the way through. So I'm going to use a 1/2 inch, which is a 12 millimeter spindle gouge. Okay. According to my sketch, my base should be 1 inch less in diameter, or 1/2 inch in radius. Okay. The smallest of diameter should be about here. And this should have a foot, and then a bead. Ooh, that was a catch. So, always be careful. The smallest part, my diagram shows that it should be about 3 inches. About 75 millimeters, 80 millimeters. So I'm going to change to the scraper for a while here. Change to a smaller tool rest. Okay. I'm going to reduce the size of the bottom part of the vessel because I want the top to overhang the base. I think I need to lighten the base a little bit here. Well, that's a more pleasing shape for me. I like that. And when I start sanding, I'll touch this up and round that bead a little bit better. Let me go ahead and start on the top. Let's see what it's going to look like. So I'm spinning at about 1,000 RPMs now. Okay, there appears to be a large knot in here. I hope that'll be gone by the time I get deep enough here, because I'm going to try to get way down over here. I can hear it when I'm cutting. So my top will eventually have a lip that fits into the base. So I'm going to cut that back a little bit. Maple cuts like butter. Oh man. Just cut off my, I was thinking, just cut off my spigot. So I'm going to fill this with epoxy and fill this with epoxy and think about how to do that spigot again. Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll cut a new tenant. It'll probably be only about 1 inch or so in diameter. And then I'll glue a block of wood over it, probably one like this, and trim it down and center it. All right. So I went ahead and drilled a 1-inch hole in a piece of yellow pine, cut it out on the bandsaw so it's not perfectly round, but it's going to fit this here. I'm going to go ahead and mix up some epoxy. I'm going to epoxy that on so it'll dry it real quick. Put some on here. And there's a small crack there anyway, so good opportunity to strengthen that a little bit. Okay. And I will put the grain across the big crack there. Push it on there, and we'll let that harden for about 10 minutes. So I took my piece of wood scrap there, epoxied it on there, and go ahead and chew it up. You turn this back down to 45 millimeters. Okay. Okay, it's pretty close. Just fine. So that's pretty much it for the basic shaping. I'm going to go ahead and sand that, and then I'll be ready to cut this off and hollow it. I'm ready to start hollowing my bowl, and so it's turning 1000 RPMs, and I'm going to start with a 3/8 bowl gouge, and see how that goes, and maybe I'll use a 1/2 inch. Okay, it caught a little while ago because I didn't have my handle over this way enough. looks like I'm getting a lot of catches, and it's because there's a knot in here. And so you go from softwood to hardwood to air gaps, and that's when it catches. So now you can see there's a big spot there. That's actually gone, rotted, and so that's what I'm catching on. Changed a little wider too. That's the knot is still there, but it seems to be getting smaller. So it looks like the rotted part of the knot is pretty much gone. Still got a little bit here, and I still need to go about another ½ inch, 12 millimeters or so deep. I tried a few pulling cuts there, and seems better. So I'm going to take my half round and just skim the inside a little bit to smooth it out. I'm getting too much dust in my camera, so I'll go ahead and sand that offline. So here's the bottom half of my my bowl. I gave it about 2 coats of sanding sealer, sanded it again, and then gave it 1 coat of polyurethane satin. I'm going to set that aside, let it dry, and I'm going to work on the lid. Well, that takes care of part 1 of this video. You should find a second part, part 2 of 2.